Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session. First case that we have is cause number 31599. Cause number 315911 and cause number 323581. Both cases are style of State of Texas versus Haley Guidry. We have Ms. Guidry present in court. Ms. Guidry, how are you doing? Okay, Ms. Guidry, now Mr. Faggart, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you for asking.
Okay, the state is represented by Attorney Blake Ham. Attorney Ham, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Okay.
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Faggart, what's your announcement in Ms. Guidry's case?
well, I'm still waiting for the forensic expert who's doing the analysis of her cell phone and was going to do the tower forensic analysis, because what is in dispute is who actually placed this text message somewhere. And that gentleman's name is Eric Devlin, Your Honor. And we are still I'm still waiting to get his analysis and report back. And I've contacted him a couple of times in the last couple of months and I have not heard from him. And I think that analysis is critical, not only to her defense, but I think the state also wants to see us, because the dispute, this is a perjury case, as the court is well aware. And the dispute is over who placed the phone that sent the text message and where it came from. And my goal is to prove through the forensic analysis that it was placed by this gentleman from a different location than her home. So I'm going to ask the court to give me one more resetting on the pretrial, and I'm going to inquire with my friends in the Texas Criminal Defense Lawyers Association as to where Mr. Devlin is. I don't know if he's sick. I know where his office is over on Voss, and that I'm going to be in Houston one day this week, and I'm going to try to go by there if I don't hear from him and just find out kind of where he's at, because not only is I'm waiting on his analysis, and the court is, and Mr. Ham is, he also has the phone in question. So I'm going to need one more resetting on pretrial.
How much time do you need?
I'd say at least 60 days.
At least 60 days.
Right.
Okay.
And I will, yeah, and I'll be on vacation in June, but that'll put us in May. I'll be okay. Okay.
Okay.
Or longer. I mean, I don't know if he's done the analysis or not.
I don't either. That's the problem.
You gonna be on vacation in June?
I'm gonna be out. Yeah, I have one
Do it
vacation.
in July.
Right.
Well, June, I will be gone the 4th of July week. I'll be back after the 4th of July.
Okay, after the 4th of July.
Yeah, I think I come back on the July the 6th or the 8th or something. The court will allow me to check my phone.
She's gonna set it probably the second week of July or the third week.
Yeah, I'll be back, Your Honor. I will be back on July the 7th. So anytime after that's cool.
Okay, case is gonna be reset for July 11th of 2022. Mr. Faggart, you can get your reset. And Ms. Guidry, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Faggart, is this your only case?
That is, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Charles Coates.
Almost has to be a JP reduction.
Okay. How long do you need?
Well, we're gonna go out to Finette, so pay it, so maybe a week or two.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll give you a 2-week reset. Mr. Shalander, when he finish at the window, you can go to the window and she'll reset it for you.
Yes, sir, thank you.
And is this your only case?
That's it, that's it.
Okay, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. You're in class. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna reset coach for 2 weeks. Ms. Bailey, could you please get, is it Bo Harvey?
Yes, Judge, he's present outside.
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is not in session, and cause number 323981. The case is style of State of Texas versus Bo Thomas Harvey. Mr. Harvey, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Harvey?
Good, are you?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Harvey. You're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Tom Kelly. Attorney Kelly, how you doing?
Good, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Kelly, what's your announcement in Mr. Harvey's case?
Your Honor, I'm still putting together some documents to give to the DA's office. If you would leave us on this docket, please, it may be 45 or 60 days.
Okay, give us a you said 45 or 60. May 23rd? Okay. This case will be reset to May 23rd. Mr. Harvey, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. And Mr. Tom Kelly, stand over in front of the court coordinator, sign for your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just for reference, Mr. Boudreaux's client's going to be a bench trial.
Okay. Mr. Kenneth Julius Murray? See here?
It's a plea, Judge,
Yes, I can.
and 2 cases to be dismissed. There you go.
Court is in session in 3 cases. First case is cause number 326170. Second case is cause number 326172. And the third case is cause number 326784. All 3 cases are styled the State of Texas versus Kenneth Julius Murray. Mr. Murray, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Murray, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Murray, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Mr. Murray, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Murray?
I'm fine.
Mr. Murray, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Alan Parker. Attorney Parker, how are you doing?
Good, Judge.
Mr. Murray, I have before me a document that has been filed by the District Attorney's Office. This document is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about May 17th of 2020, while you in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of assault, family violence, and cause number 326172. Mr. Murray, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes,
And to this charge, Mr. Murray, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I'm gonna plead no contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
I'm pleading no contest because that's the only option I have.
Okay, so my question is, are you pleading? Is anybody
Yeah, I guess
forcing
so.
you to
I
plead
guess
no
so, yes.
contest?
Yeah, voluntarily.
Okay, And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Pleading no contest because that's the only option I have.
Okay, the meaning
Based on
of,
my prior criminal record. I mean, I'm in this court with no case.
Can I
No
have a
crime was
minute to talk to the
committed.
judge?
okay, yes. Okay, what we're gonna do, Mr.
I
Hold
understand
on,
your question.
no, Mr. Murray, take a few minutes, talk to your attorney, and we'll call you back up. Court is in session and cause number 329346. Case is style of State of Texas versus Caitlin Thomas. Ms. Thomas, is that it says Caitlin Elvira Saray Thomas? How you doing, Ms. Thomas? That's good. Ms. Thomas, you're here represented by your attorney, Ms. Marvin Provo. Ms. Provo, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine now.
That's good. Ms. Provo, what is your announcement in Ms. Thomas' case?
I'm asking that this case stay on the docket for another 30 days, so I can talk to the prosecutor. We will work out something on this issue.
Okay, so you need a 30-day reset? May 9th? Okay, this case will be reset to May 9th of 2022. Once you get your reset from your attorney, Ms. Thomas, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day, Ms. Provo. Stand on the flags in front of our coordinator. You can sign for your reset. I think this is your only case, so you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Ms. Wood.
Yes, you may be excused.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Court is back in session in cause number 326172. Case is style of State of Texas versus Kenneth Julius Murray. We have Mr. Murray appearing in court previously. Mr. Murray, the court read to you the information in cause number 326172. And that information alleged that on or about May 17 of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of assault, family violence. Mr. Murray, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes,
And to this charge, Mr. Murray, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
no contest.
Now you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Freely.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes,
Mr. Murray, I have before me a document that is titled, hold on, let me do this here. Okay, Mr. Murray, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Mr. Murray, do you recognize this document?
yes,
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Murray, there are a set of initials, KM, on a line that's next to a box that is checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Mr. Murray, did you place your initials on this document?
yes,
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Murray, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Mr. Murray, is that your signature?
yes,
The next document that I have is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights of Appeal. Mr. Murray, do you recognize this document?
Yes,
Mr. Murray, is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
yes,
At the top of this document, Mr. Murray, there are two boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
yes,
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
yes.
Now, Mr. Murray, I also have a document here that's titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
yes,
Now, Mr. Murray, before you signed and initial these documents that I have just mentioned, did your attorney, Mr. Parker, go over these documents with you?
yes,
Did you read and understand everything that he went
Yes.
on? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes,
Mr. Murray, are you a citizen of the United States?
yes,
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1 and State's Exhibit number 2. State, you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor. No objection.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Parker, you have advised and counseled Mr. Murray. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Murray, your attorney, Mr. Parker, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
oh, yes,
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
yes,
Mr. Murray, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And state, what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement in case number 326172 is for 18 months of deferred probation, a $500 fine, 40 hours of community service, and no contact with Monica Johnson.
Oh, no contact.
Additionally, for this plea, state has agreed to submit motions to dismiss case numbers 326170 and 326784.
Mr. Murray. This, did you say no contact with a Monica Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the information says the complaining witness name is Monica Murray.
She goes by Monica Johnson now, Judge.
Oh,
That's what she told me.
oh, okay. Okay. Now, Mr. Murray, the state is offering that you serve 18 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $357, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $857. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. The total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on deferred probation is $130. Mr. Murray, will you be able to pay the $130 each month?
Yes,
You will be required to perform 40 hours of community service. You cannot have contact with a Monica Johnson as a condition of this probation. You will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation, and the state will be dismissing cause numbers 326-170 and cause number 326-784. Mr. Murray, do you understand the state's offer?
yes, I do understand, but I would like to make a statement or ask a question.
Well, could you talk to your attorney first?
I don't want Monica Johnson to contact me
That's-
under any
that's-
circumstances.
that's fine.
All right,
You don't talk to her.
okay,
He doesn't have control over her.
okay, I'm just saying, as long as that's understood, I don't
That's
want him contacting me.
Now, Mr. Murray, do you accept the state's offer?
Yes,
Okay, Mr. Murray, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Murray, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not appear on your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. Do you understand that?
yes,
Okay. Now, Mr. Murray, pursuant to the Texas Administrative Code, Section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you or warns you of the following. That document that you have in the paper, that's that your attorney just handed you, I will go over this document. And it states, number one, you are by entry of order or judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code Section 46.013A, firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of any antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Order for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective order. Now, the document that's been handed out, that's for your records. Mr. Murray, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney, and you will follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. And also, I'm signing those two dismissals right now. So you'll get those two dismissals before you leave. Okay, just stand on the X.
Your Honor, I have another case.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Mr. McQuillan, would you please put your mic on mute, please? Thank you.
It was, Mr. Gore was.
Peter Dahl? Oh, there he is. Miss Brandon Jackson? This is cause number 323-984. Case of style of state of Texas versus Brandon Jackson or Brandon Christopher Jackson. Mr. Jackson, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Jackson? I'm doing fine. Mr. Jackson, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Peter Dahl. Mr. Dahl, how are you doing?
Very good.
Okay, Mr. Dahl, what is your announcement in Mr. Jackson's case?
The state has conveyed information to me that they would be willing to make the case a JP case.
It's gonna be a JP reduction?
Yeah,
If that's acceptable.
Yeah. And we need about 30 days.
30 days? Okay. Brandon Jackson gonna be reset for JP reduction for 30 days. Should be on the plea docket. I mean,
We would
Yeah.
find it.
It doesn't matter. He should be able to take care of it. Get some out.
It'll be May 9th.
May 9th? Okay, Mr. Dahl, Mr. Jackson's case has been reset to May 9th. You can sign for his reset. Mr. Jackson, once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Mr. Dahl, is this your only case?
As far as I know, Judge.
Yeah, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yolanda Randall.
She's here, Your
This is cause number 326-528. Case of style of state of Texas versus Yolanda Renee Randall. Ms. Randall, is that your full name?
Yes.
How you doing, Ms. Randall? That's good. Ms. Randall, you're here with your attorney, Attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, how are you doing?
Hey, Judge, how you doing?
Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Ms. Randall's case?
Not ready, Your Honor. And what happened is this. Got a text message from Mr. Ham this past weekend that this case was going to be a case that's going to go. I called my client, informed her there was going to be no offer, there was going to be a trial for certain. But then when I got to talking with her this weekend, and he should be aware of this because this case involves two individuals who got into an altercation involving one particular man, Chris, what was his name? Christopher Curtis. I reached out to Mr. Curtis, who was an eyewitness to everything that happened. Due to his work schedule, he would not be able to be here either by Zoom or in person. And he is a key witness to the defense. He was there, he saw everything from beginning to end. He is saying that with his job, he can be here. If you can give me 2-3 weeks, which I think will put it right after Easter, April 18th, he can be here and he will be available to testify. That's the first reason. The second thing that came to my attention is this. The state may have a potential conflict of interest, and I don't know if Mr. Ham was aware of this, but I think the state will. When I talked with my client this weekend, I come to learn that the same eyewitness to this case, Mr. Chris, Curtis, he is a defendant, I believe, in your court as well. And what I found, because I know the court typically recuses itself when you have people who you represented before. Well, I'm using that to say, Ms. Randall will tell you today that she has been contacted. I don't know if it's by Mr. Ham. I can't say it's Mr. Ham, but some lawyer in the district attorney's office have contacted her previously because she's the victim in that particular case. And with her being the victim, we're both concerned that since she has spoken with the district attorney, our district attorney's office, he can pull it up. His name is, what's his name, Chris Curtis? She is the victim in that particular case. So she has spoken with a district attorney. She doesn't remember who she's spoken with, but she would not want that particular information to be used in this particular case, which
What's the middle name?
I don't know his middle name. So our position is two reasons. One, I have a material witness that if you make me go to trial today, you can put me at a significant disadvantage. That's one. But then two, I think they might have a potential, I'm not saying that they do, but I think they might have a potential conflict of interest for Mr. Ham to try this case, considering that someone from his office has already contacted my client, spoke to my client, and the guy who is the witness in the case, she's the victim, and they have a case pending right now. So for multiple reasons and out of abundance of caution, I would say, and I can go on the 18th. If you can give me a special setting, I can positive, but I think he may have a potential conflict of interest on this particular case.
Mr. Ham?
Your Honor, this is the this particular attorney has been made aware of this issue. It does appear that Christopher Derrick, D-A-R-R-I-C-K Curtis, has a case pending in this court as a defendant in assault family violence case number 329380. So if it is a policy of this court that somehow conflicts us out, which I don't.
I think that's a issue that you would have to, your office would have to make that decision.
In all fairness to Mr. Ham, he's correct. This is the first time I brought it to his
Because
attention.
if it is, it may be, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
You got to get with your, the folks in the DA's office, and y'all can make the decision as to whether or not y'all need to get a special prosecutor or not.
Right. Because
I don't make that decision.
Right. Because at the end of the day, Judge, in fairness to him, I don't believe, obviously, Mr. Ham is the one who's contacted my client. But somebody from his office and some lawyer from his office has contacted my client. And as the rules are, I mean, they represent one big firm, the state of Texas. So any conflict that would go to one client would inure to Mr. Ham as well. So our position would be is that he has a potential conflict of interest to try this case because he's had someone from his office contact my client, speak to my client. He's just verified the defendant got information from her, and then that particular information he could use in the case against her here. I think there's an obvious potential. I didn't say it was conflict. And then I also would say, Judge, as a second reason, material, even more important than that is that I don't have a key witness that I can get today. I can't get him here for the 18th.
Your Honor, I guess at this point, the state opposes the reset, subject to me talking to my supervisor regarding this potential conflict.
Okay, we'll hold on it.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay,
Well,
just.
I'm not ready. I'm taking.
Okay, I understand. Okay, we just hold on that. Okay, y'all can have a seat.
Thank you, Judge.
And you said, I think you said, now Reyes is gonna be, that's the one with Boudreaux, you said that's gonna be
That's a bench trial.
bench trial? Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay. Bench trial, okay. Now, Mr. Adams, you have Timothy Ray Roberts.
Timothy Roberts. Yes, I'm.
Would you, Mr. Bailiff, would you please get Timothy Ray Roberts?
Or you go outside.
He's here, Judge.
Mr. Roberts, would you come forward?
Mr. Roberts, We're gonna take the plea offer in that particular
Okay.
case. I just need.
Right, now, Judge, we're ready on that case.
I thought he was playing
You
on.
gotta
He said he
make the
played.
offer. I ain't know. So it's not off anymore?
All right, that's fine. You know what? We'll take the plea on. That's fine.
All right.
And
So
we'll just go
look,
down to number 10 on the job.
Okay, this,
all right, I'm gonna do
We'll
the
do the plea.
paperwork.
We'll do the plea.
all right.
Okay, let me get the paperwork done.
Now, did Nathaniel Trensley show up? I thought I saw him.
Yeah, he came in, one took him barely fit to the door.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it comes through.
Is it that? Okay. Okay, Mr.
I can open the door over here.
Okay.
It comes from there.
Well, we got all that stuff. I saw him earlier. I saw, okay, so your announcement ready? What's your-
State's ready.
State's ready? Okay. All right, just have a seat. Now, Mr. Langston Adams, you have another case, and I think this guy is on Zoom, Gary Barber. Mr. Barber? You can take your mic off of mute?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Mr. Barber's, well, first of all, we have cause number 328-358, cause number 329-558, and cause number 330-566. All three cases are styled the state of Texas versus Gary Christopher Barber. What is your announcement?
On Mr. Barber, the offer was 60 days jail on all three cases, and he has about 5 days credit. The problem is I couldn't take that today, even if I wanted to, with him being on Zoom.
Well, is he in town? Is he a local? I mean, our trial docket doesn't start to 1:30. I mean, the case, the trial doesn't start to 1:30.
Mr. Barber, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
The
The problem with me not being there this morning, Judge, is I paid somebody for gas money last night. I gave them my last $20 for gas to bring me to court this morning, and they've never showed up.
Just how about this? With his
You want
transportation, can I have one
to,
we said?
you want to talk to him on the phone to find out if he's going to take the offer or not?
Let me
Instead
call
of,
him right now, but-
oh, just, you can step outside and do that.
Oh, I need.
Oh, Mr. Barber, your attorney is going to be calling you on the phone. So, hold on a minute. Let me do this.